And welcome back to INTERPHEX TV. I'm Bob Fryer. Two special guests with us today, Rudy Weiss and Julian Laura. Good to have you guys here from Staubli. This is an old company, 130 years, my goodness. But it's exciting when people come here and they've got something new to show off. So a company that's been around for 130 years, what are you guys bringing new to the table to INTERPHEX this year? Rudy, I'll start with you.
Yeah, so this year we focus on the launch of the first mobile hygienic designed robot.
Okay.
It's a AGV, a self-running system. We developed this together with a big European pharma company because it was not existing on the market, these kind of products. So it's fully hygienic, encapsulated, and this is the absolute highlight. And for us, it's an important product in the future.
Okay, there, because I want to know what the impetus for creating this was. It does say mobile pharma clean room. Are you saying it's completely hygienic or clean room inside and it can go? What was the reason for needing this?
I mean, for these pharma customer, and meanwhile we know for others as well, there was a need for a mobile robot which is fully cleanable.
Okay.
Because the most of the mobile systems in the market are not cleanable because the driving system, for example, the wheels, all this stuff is hidden.
Right.
It cannot be cleaned, not be disinfected, and this is really a problem for the pharma guys.
Julian, what does it mean, A, B, C, D, this rating? What does that mean?
Yeah, that means that we are able to address all those kind of different applications because in pharma industry there is different type of grade, meaning that
Right.
the highest requirement for the aseptic design is in grade A because we are almost in touch with the substance active molecule from the medicine that we are producing. And we wanted to cover all this bunch of different applications because nothing was available on the market. And the main trigger and the main driver on this whole project has been driven by the new Annex 1 regarding the pharma, saying that we need to mitigate the risk as much as possible regarding contamination.
Okay.
And one of part of the solution would be, because the main contamination source is the human being per se,
Sure.
and we need to get rid of them in order to automate. And one part of the solution is the mobile robotics approach.
Where are you transporting from A to B? Where is the robot transporting?
Yeah, so there is different kind of application, and the more we are digging into, the more we find out that there is a lot of bunch of application possibility to address. So the number one would be, for example, what we call the environmental monitoring. So that means we are moving the robot, the SteriMove, which is the name of our clean room mobile robot. The SteriMove is moving devices that check the particle emission in the air to say if it's okay to produce medicine or not. And number two, we are also checking the contamination level on the wall and on the floor with EGA plate. So that means that we'll have a robot arm on the top, bringing the EGA plate, touching the wall and the floor, and just check if the contamination level is okay to produce.
I'm so disappointed you guys didn't bring one over here. I saw what we were going to talk about. I'm like, oh, they're definitely bringing a robot here. But if you go over to your booth, because it is a prototype, am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay, it's brand new. So if people come to your booth, who is it that you are shopping this to? You wanted to launch it here at INTERPHEX, and I completely understand why. But are you going to different areas, or are you having them come to you? How's this work for you?
Yeah, I mean, for the first prototype, we sent them now since 9 months around the world because we show it on fairs and congresses, and I mean it's still a prototype, and our main goal is to find end users, pharmaceutical companies with applications to get rid of operators because they have a labor problem. They could not find enough people also in the future. And they want to give these boring jobs to a robot because they need their labor, their stuff for more important jobs. And yeah, therefore we are here because we want to show this to end users and then get an idea which kind of applications they have, which kind of processes we can replace, manual processes,
Yeah. And that's exactly what we have done because what stay behind all the product development was the process, the mindset that we developed. So that means we started from scratch to develop a brand new mobile pharma robot for the pharmaceutical industry. And for that, we were in touch with a key partner, a leading partner in Europe, pharmaceutical industry, because we wanted to start from the application standpoint in order to understand, to develop the right product. So that's what we call the pull approach. The problem is with engineering company, most of the time we are in love with engineering, so we are developing products behind closed door, and at some point we have this push approach, which could be nice for a proof of concept and so on, but at some point we need really to understand in first place, the pain point of the customer in order to develop the right product. That's why we have done that, number one. And number two, why we want to go in this direction, because in Staubli, we do believe that we have a unique expertise when it comes to robotics arm in isolator running over the last 20 years. And we want to transfer this unique pharma expertise into our mobile robotics. That's why it makes sense for us.
It really is amazing here at INTERPHEX that all of the people that come here drive innovation. You know what I mean? Like there are people always launching new products. Every year there's something like this because people look around and they see what the other guys are doing. That's probably what happened here. You saw the need for this and that with the impetus for this. But 40 years of robotics, clearly you guys have been creating new stuff at Staubli for all of those 40 years.
That's true. I mean, Staubli is well known Staubli Robotics is well known for specific industries where maybe others are not in, our competitors, for example. So pharmaceutical is one, medical devices or medical surgical robotics is one, semiconductor industry.
Right.
So we are known for a high accuracy and very special execution of robots to meet the requirements in these industries. We are not comparable with these big robot suppliers worldwide. We are going to really specific industries.
Yeah, that audience, that niche audience.
And there we are strong. You know, and since 20 years we are in pharmaceutical industry, and we developed a complete new range of robots meeting these high requirements of the pharma industry, because our robots produce in the core zone, as you described, clean room class A is the highest level in the pharmaceutical production, where we really fill trucks.
Yeah.
And our robots are there, so yeah, they do.
And internally we talk about sensitive environment. That's where we want to play for a special application. Coming back to your question regarding which kind of we meet with, which customer we want to talk with. So clearly the end user in pharmaceutical are the main customer or partner, number one. Number two, we also talk with machine builder who providing the full machine to the end user for the pharmaceutical industry. They have some needs also to automate the material flow, not only producing the medicine, but also to bring the material to the filling line, for example. So they need some mobile robot which is compliant with all these grade A, B, C, and D. That's why we are here, and we are open to do so. And if you are in INTERPHEX, please come over, because the design per se itself is quite unique. Some of the guys told me, hey, Julian, this product comes direct from the moon. Just from the design perspective, it's quite...
From the moon?
Yeah, from the moon.
It is kind of like that idea that I think it was a comedian, Jerry Seinfeld, said, we go to the moon and then leave it to a guy to bring a car to the moon. You know what I mean? Isn't the moon far enough? Do we need a car to drive on the moon? No, I know Staubli, we're talking about robotics, and this is your area, but Staubli for 130 years, clearly they weren't making robots 130 years ago. So just give me an idea of what else it is that Staubli does. What are the products?
So the robotic division is the youngest division. It's 40 years old. And the other divisions, we have 3 others. It's textile. A textile industry, we call it. Here we produce engines, gears for these high-speed weaving machines, for example. Here we are world market leader as well. It's also our biggest division. Then we are doing electrical connectors, all kind of electrical connectors, from very small in the photovoltaics, for example, up to multi-connectors. Staubli is very well known. It's the fastest growing unit. And then we have the fluid connectors, where we have coupling systems for any kind of liquids.
Yeah.
This goes also in the motor sports, where we fuel cars on a pit stop, for example. All these connectors could come from Staubli.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
I just want another thing on the robots, though. I was reading 450 tons. One of your little robots can carry something 450 tons. Is that like the shuttle?
Yeah, that's why when it comes to mobile robotics from Staubli robotics division, we used to say that where the other end up, we start with. So that means most of the players here in the mobile robotics industry are offering mobile robotic solution up to 1.5 tons. Why? Because it's all about pallet transport most of the time. So intralogistics, e-commerce, and so on. And then we have a core know-how in high payload industries. So that's why we start from 1.5 tons. So pallet transport, we can do that, but we can scale up to 450 tons, as you correctly mentioned.
Man.
For example, this one is we are transporting for renewable energy, the big engine from the renewable energy for the wine power.
Okay.
Wind power, sorry, in Germany, for example. So that's the point, yeah.
I'm going to let you go here in a second, but I just want to ask, how many years have you been coming to INTERPHEX, and what's been your experience this year?
I'm now, I think it's the 12th or 13th time at INTERPHEX. I'm 25 years now in this industry, in various companies.
Sure.
But when I look around, I had not chance to have a tour. I will do this afternoon, and I will.
Things to see.
So therefore, I cannot really say what's different. It looks very similar like last.
Similar layout. But the great thing about INTERPHEX is they're always transforming. I mean, right now we're next to the Learning Lab, which they just started last year. Huge success, so they're doing it again this year. But they're always changing as the industry itself adapts. So does INTERPHEX as well. So you will see different things on the.
Yeah, I will this afternoon.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Julian,
Thanks a lot.
Rudy, great to see you guys. I'm going to walk by your booth. I got to see
Yes,
this robot.
please.
Come over.
Please.
Good deal. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
good luck with the launch.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. And again, for INTERPHEX TV, I'm Bob Fryer.